Hey, fellow survivors! Here we are back at the at John's bar.
Cheers.
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 Tonight we're going to talk about the two deputies who were brutally attacked with a car in Hillsborough County, Florida. So stick around, and we'll be right back. Okay, so tonight we're going to do a beer moment, and tonight we have Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. Figured right after Halloween, it's fall time, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, so maybe we'd have a little pumpkin. So let's see what this tastes like. I have not tried it.
It smells good. I like
color.
the smell. Has a really good
smell.
smell.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a cinnamon pumpkin pie smell and taste. Ooh,
that tastes really good. I'm enjoying the hell out of that.
damn, that is good. It does. It tastes like a pumpkin pie.
I'm
It does.
drinking a pumpkin pie.
I can really taste the allspice, but I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin spice.
Oh, I love pumpkin pie. It's not my favorite, but I do love a good pumpkin pie.
I'm a coconut custard pie person This is myself.
Okay, Gilligan.
Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices by the Elysian Beer Company or Brewing Company, and they are out of Washington, Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon. So I'm going to start it off. I will give that an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give that, you know what, I agree. That's a good 8.5 beer. That's a good.
I'm going to give it an 8 for they hit what they were going for.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have a sponsor for our beers.
We do. Thank you for reminding me.
Absolutely.
We do. Our first sponsor, and thank you for the Beer Moment, for your sponsorship on the Beer Moment, is Kristen and Tom Clem, Realtors. They're out of the Central Florida area. When you're ready to buy or sell, make sure you contact these folks. Good bunch of folks. I know them personally. Kristen was a former school teacher. Tom is a retired law enforcement officer and a veteran Marine. Make sure you contact them for all your real estate needs. They will take care of you for sure. Our second beer sponsor is Clem & Company Property Investments. This is Tom's company, Tom Clem. Again, retired law enforcement sergeant and also veteran Marine. When you're ready to get rid of that property, unload it, and you need to unload it fast, make sure you call Tom at the number right there on your screen, and it's also in the information below. He will take care of you. Thank you guys for your sponsorship. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate it. All right, so do we have an officer down?
Yes, we do. As of today, 103 officers have passed in the line of duty. Firearms is still number one, and automobile related is number two, which is very relevant to our topic that John's going to cover with the Hillsborough County deputies and how dangerous it actually is when you have law enforcement and vehicles. And then the next episode next week, we're going to cover police pursuits, so that should be exciting too. But as of right now, 103, so we're going to salute our fallen officers.
Salute. Thank you for the ultimate sacrifice, and God bless you and your families. So, thankfully, we're not talking about fallen officers on this topic.
Absolutely.
Man, that's good. So, if you haven't heard, on November 9th, two Hillsborough County deputies responded to a disturbance, a family disturbance in Brandon, Florida.
Which is always dangerous.
Yeah, family disturbances. Apparently, the mother had called in and said her son, her adult son, 28-year-old son, was acting erratically and was kicking in doors inside the house.
So there was somebody in crisis.
So the deputies responded, okay, and they actually tried to detain him at the house. He was able to escape, get into his vehicle, and he left. So the deputies were outside, probably consulting about the case. What are we going to do about it? Things like that. And out of nowhere, the suspect comes back in the car, full speed, and just rams these deputies full force.
What did he go around the corner?
Basically, went around the block, went around the corner, just came back, and apparently he clipped another car, which they say probably shaved a little speed off of the.
Now, were they on foot when they got hit, or
they were standing outside their vehicle? So on foot.
They were on
Yeah.
foot, standing outside their vehicle, and the front bumper of the suspect's car pinned them to the side of the deputy's vehicles.
2 deputies were seriously injured when authorities say a driver intentionally plowed into them. The Hillsborough County Sheriff is calling it an ambush. He says law enforcement was called to a residence by a woman who claimed to be afraid of her adult son, whom she said was acting violently.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the video clip. It's a pretty scary video clip. One of the officers flies up onto the hood of the car, onto the glass, and rolls off, and yeah, it's pretty frightening.
That's straight up attempted murder.
Right, and he was arrested by another deputy on scene who ended up having to tase him, and he's now been charged with 3 counts of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer.
Now,
Body cam from another officer shows the suspect get out of the car and refuse commands to get on the ground. Deputies use their tasers to take him into custody.
John, when you look at the video, when I first watched this video, when the guy gets out of the car,
The bad guy?
The bad guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. When the bad guy gets out of the car, he seems to be something wrong, because he's like super calm, and he's almost like in a zombie type state. Yeah, a trance zombie, because he's just walking forward to, I guess he's walking to one of the deputies or something, and not responding. There's no emotion whatsoever.
Could have whacked his damn head on the steering wheel or some part of the car, or airbag could have knocked his brains out.
But
after the crash, I mean.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Surprisingly, this was not his first contact with law enforcement.
Oh, come on.
Shocker.
Previously charged with 3 felonies, 14 misdemeanors.
Is he out on cashless bail?
No,
that's not our state.
It's Florida, yeah.
So we don't have cashless bail, and he is currently residing in the Hillsborough County Jail, and as far as I understand it, he's attacked multiple correctional deputies.
Oh, since the arrest?
Since the arrest.
Oh, yeah.
But, previously, one of the felonies he was charged with, I believe this is the one of the ones he was charged with, was battery on a law enforcement officer, because he was being arrested for a hit-and-run crash, and he punched a deputy right in the face.
So he likes to use a vehicle for a weapon.
Well, he likes to use his fist.
Yeah, also.
Is that also a felony, John?
Yeah, it's a felony.
It's for them.
I know. I know.
Idiots.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't talking to you, Camille.
Right?
I knew you knew that.
So he's 27, living
28.
at home. 28, living at home with mom in broad daylight, so he wasn't at his job.
Right.
So what are the chances that there's does he have any drug convictions, do you know?
There wasn't any mention of drug history.
So maybe some anger issues and maybe some mental illness going on?
Right. There is a history of
He hates
mental
cops.
illness.
Yeah, well, I get that. Absolutely.
But in that arrest after he punched a deputy who was arresting him for the hit and run, he was literally recorded inside the back of the car. He hated law enforcement, was going to kill a deputy sheriff.
Jeez. There's so many people out there that have such an anger towards law enforcement, and they're just people trying to do their thing.
Right.
You fascist! You fascist!
You're all fucking pieces of
And 90% of it can be stemmed back to what the media portrays law enforcement as.
And you know what? If you just abide by the law and you comply, there's no issues.
Nope.
Now, let me ask you a question, though.
Sure.
Had that been a social worker who responded, do you think it would have had the same attitude?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I could tell you this for sure. My first cop job, I was a paddy wagon driver. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's a prisoner transport van. And an officer would arrest somebody, give me the paperwork, put them in my van. I'd switch out cuffs, put them in my van. And 9 out of 10 of every arrest, why did you arrest me? Why did you arrest me? I didn't do what you said I did. And I'm not the arresting officer. But all officers everybody who are in that are going to be lumped in as one. So a social worker, in a mind of somebody who's in this situation, is law enforcement. That's my opinion.
You know, now I figured it out.
It took you 743 years, but you finally figured it
So
out.
Hey.
he was a paddy wagon driver.
Yes.
That's why he didn't want to be a real cop on the street.
Right. He never
and
was a
have
real
to-
cop.
And have to transport prisoners, in the back of his car, because he still had the fear of having them breathing down his neck for his first year or whatever in
It was-
law enforcement. That's why he became an investigator, and called patrol. Oh, can you transport?
I need a
for me?
transport.
Can you transport for me?
I do gotta tell you though.
Don't forget the urination and the defecation in the back of the van. So
Yeah.
That
the
you
smell.
were the prisoners.
Well,
Yeah.
not usually me.
So I figured it out. That's exactly why he only spent like 22 days as a road cop and went right into investigations, because he had this thing in the back of his head. I can't have prisoners behind me.
PTSD.
I can't have prisoners behind me. They poop and pee on me.
And they smell. I remember.
And they smell.
I remember driving out to the jail sometimes, and the smell was so bad. I
Oh.
would drive with my head out the window.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh!
And it wasn't a short drive either
is
to the Volusia County Jail. God almighty, man.
and if I was on patrol, I would have pulled you over for driving with your head out the window.
What's the charge?
I'd have found one.
I mean, but you have convertibles. Would that be riding on the
He's
exterior
why
of the vehicle?
cops have bad names.
Right.
I would have found one.
Would that be riding on the exterior of a vehicle?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. So come back with me, and if you find something that's
So he's been arrested. He's at jail.
Right.
This just happened. What, 2 weeks
November
ago?
9th, yeah,
Yeah,
so
a
last
week
week.
and a half ago,
Week and a
whatever.
half.
Yeah.
does it say in there what his sentence was when he punched a cop? Because that's battery on a law enforcement officer.
No, it doesn't say what his sentence was, but
But he's out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much that can be done with the victim justice system.
Right.
Because I don't want to call it the criminal justice system anymore, because the victims are the ones who are victimized,
Yep.
and the criminals are being let loose on everything. I mean, I remember we had a situation where in our city, someone actually pled guilty to felony murder,
Yeah.
and he got a sentence of 2 years.
What?
2 years.
Yep.
What happened? I mean, I guess that wouldn't have a minimum mandatory. But the
I think it was-
sentencing guidelines, I mean,
It's just crazy.
that's
It's just like when they did away with 1020 life, guys.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean,
well, we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
yeah, we did
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago. But yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, getting back to what we said in one of the previous programs we did about mental health, we've got to start taking these predators off the street. You just have to take them out of society.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's no, because they are not going to be reformed.
Right.
There's not going to be any rehabilitation for them.
Right.
It's going to happen and happen again. So back to your original question. I think that the social worker would have been struck just as easily,
Right.
because I don't think these individuals are going to see,
No, they
well,
don't know
that's
the
a
difference.
social worker who's
Right.
out to help
No,
me,
Right.
and those are
But the
police
social
officers. Let
worker-
me aim at them.
The social worker goes in a position of authority,
Right.
and that's what the problem is.
Yep.
And they wear a similar colored shirt, or similar type stuff. Even if they go out there plain clothes, they're going to say, "Hey, I'm Joe Snodgrass with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. I'm a social worker. I'm here to see how I can help." As soon as they say I'm with the Seminole County or the Hillsborough County or whatever county sheriff's office,
Yep.
pew!
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
And see, I don't necessarily have an issue with social workers. I don't like that term, but that's what one will use as a supplement, as maybe
Right.
something who can follow up, or
No,
who can add.
It should be a supplement,
right
not a first
or
responder.
a replacement. Yeah,
Right.
I
not
totally,
a replacement, a supplement.
Yes, I agree with
And
the
I don't
supplement.
even have problem with them being 10-8, or out in service for a whole shift, 2 or 3 of them, And if we get to a situation where, hey, we need a social worker out here for this, bam, they can respond in 5-10 minutes.
So let me ask you this.
But not on scene, first responder on scene with the cop.
So how about, and follow up, so like almost like a firefighter, hey, is the scene secured? Yes. Okay, I'm coming in now.
Right.
Absolutely.
Once the scene is secure, okay, let's bring in somebody who can help the situation, assist.
Well, I mean, and that's one of the things, this whole defund the police because, they should have had a social worker go out there and help deal with Freddie Gray and
Right.
need a social worker for all these issues. No, let law enforcement gain control of the scene
Yep.
and then bring in a social worker under the authority of law enforcement
To do their specialty.
to do what they need
Yeah,
to do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The Family Service Association of Greater Elgin and the police officer are partners on the department's Crisis Intervention Team Enhanced. A program the two spearheaded and is comprised of 35 officers, social workers, and 4 social work interns.
So, you know what? Let's give them more funding.
Right.
But
To set that system up.
Exactly. But no, we've still got to play defund the police. I
Right.
mean, Eric Adams in New York, because of the illegal immigration crisis, and they're a sanctuary city, he's like, we have to cut the budget by like 5%.
Yeah, I think it was like $138 million from
Right.
NYPD law enforcement
Right.
budget.
So, we're going to have less cops on the street, no overtime.
I was going to say, there goes your overtime, your off-duty pay, for bringing them in for special events, for crowd controls at concerts and everything else. There goes all that. See you later.
That's going to go down, and crime's going to go up. That's just the way
And
it
it's
is.
already skyrocketed.
Yep. Giuliani
But-
had it right. You use the broken window theory, and you attack the small crimes, the squeegee guys, all of this. And now I can see, with the supplement of social assistance, and it has a ripple effect all the way. It brought the murder rate down to its lowest.
It's about providing the service.
Right, exactly.
I was listening to a guy on Sean Hannity this morning, and he said that he was from Chicago, and he was talking about the cashless bail and everything else. And then he said that since 2019, right before COVID, he said crime has went up 60, violent crime, has went up 60% since 2019.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that with the juvenile murder rate.
Yeah, let me tell you something. In the city I used to work for, and John used to work for, well, we all used to work for, but they would occasionally pull stats on, certain things. If something was up more than single-digit percents, they were shitting a brick, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If it was up 10%, if traffic
You gotta
fatalities were up 10% to 15%, holy shit, what's going on out
Did you
here?
guys have CompStat after I left?
No,
but
essentially to say.
But we were able to pull all the stats from
Right.
all the crime reporting
But
and
what
everything
we were-
else.
One of the things is we did have a problem. We had some high-end hotels in our city, and we knew that there was prostitution going on.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
For sure, yeah.
And when I was in investigations,
Yeah.
when I was in investigations, I was like, hey, can we do something about this? And the chief said no, because our sex crime stats are going to skyrocket if we actually address the problem.
Yeah.
Sort of like, well, our city manager at the time didn't want to get a canine because we would find more drugs.
Yeah. Well, that's like I think there was an agency in South Florida, and if I'm wrong, they were fudging numbers, UCR numbers, because they were telling their officers to, instead of a burglary report, make it a theft report.
There was an agency in Seminole County that was doing
Oh yeah,
that.
and that's a crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When you
Oh yeah.
yeah, and you can't. I mean, it's tough to prove, but when you make it a policy that we're going to underreport things, that's just bad. That's
So-
because it's always going to come back on you.
So anyway, we're getting towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
And we kind of drifted off topic, and that's fine.
Well, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
It's a technology question. So you said he was recorded in the back of the patrol vehicle.
Yeah.
When I was on patrol for 4.5 minutes, we didn't have we didn't have video or audio in the back of our cars as a standard practice.
They didn't have recording ability at that point.
Well, we had the
It was on vinyl.
right, and we could do it with our own recorder, which we have all done that.
All right.
But it wasn't a system set up. Did you guys, by the time you guys left, did you have a system that recorded what was going on in the back of the?
Oh, absolutely.
Everything.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's just the way it's going, because
Right.
you keep seeing video, and it's important because you got to see what they're doing, what they're
Right.
saying. That's evidence.
They have them now that do 360 degrees around the car on the outside, the entire inside, and then, of course, the body cameras for the officers themselves. But, yeah, it'll
And let me
do a
guess,
360 around.
the car cameras are also provided by Axon.
Well,
No, there's
multiple
multiple
companies.
multiple
Axon
companies
is-
that do that.
Yeah, it sounds like they have the market on it.
So anyway,
Bodies, yeah.
we kind of drifted off.
Sorry about that, John.
No, that's fine, because we hit a lot of topics that I'm glad we did. But I want to bring this back to the two deputies who were hit were Carlos Brita and Manny Santos. Both of them, I think, early 30s, married, young children. And another important thing I want to put out there is Hillsborough County SO has a donation page set up through the Lynn Sowers Memorial Foundation. So if you want to donate to help with their recovery,
I'll try to find the picture and put it on there at this time for that.
So go ahead and try and help them out, because I mean, both of them. One of them, I think, is they're trying to do everything they can to save his leg.
Yeah, because one's out of the hospital.
One's out, but he still has
Issues.
follow-up surgery and all that stuff.
Can you see if you can find that link and put it in
Absolutely.
the comments for
Yes,
us?
yeah, totally.
You'll have to edit
Yep.
the comments on YouTube and just put it in there
That's
under
fine.
description.
Yep.
That would
but
be
I
great.
think
Yeah,
they're
I'll
going
put
to.
a link to it in the down below.
But I think I think they're both done as deputies. Their careers are over.
They'll be crippled up
that's a
so
shame.
bad they won't be able to do
and
the job.
watch the video. We're going to post it in here, and it's
Yeah, support these guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And it's one of the things we always hear military and police officers always say, keep your head on a swivel. And this is exactly what they mean.
Yeah.
They had no clue what was coming at them.
Well, in one of the videos, it looks like he was about to draw his weapon to fire at him, and then he realized, oh, shit, that's not going to help. I need to get out of the way.
Right.
By the
Too
time
late.
it's too late.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why,
That's
I mean,
exactly why.
And they complain about, cops, paranoid, but also, like, when businesses offer something to law enforcement, and instead, hey, come get a free refill of your coffee or
Right.
your iced tea or whatever, oh my God, they shouldn't do that. I mean, they're always in danger.
Yeah. Listen,
If you're wearing the uniform, you're in danger.
If I ever buy a convenience store, cops, free Slurpees, free sodas, free coffee. Donuts you got to pay for.
Hey, the more cops you got hanging around your business, the safer your business is, and that's
Absolutely.
exactly
and
why
that's
they
what I
do
tell
that.
my students. They're like, why do they give free? Why do you think?
Yeah. If you got a cop car parked out there, probably not going to get robbed. All right, guys. Well, listen.
Hold on. I have some business that I have to take up. I was an idiot once again. Raise your hand if you're surprised. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I bet LT that his Bulldogs were gonna lose last week, and he even gave me 10 points.
7.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it was like 9,000 to 2. So
52
Wasn't it?
to
Were they playing the
17.
Giants?
yeah, exactly.
Or the Bears?
Yeah. So
Or the Commanders?
So as always, if I lose, I pay. So here you go, LT.
Thank you, sir. Go Dogs.
I want to start serializing those cigars to make sure that.
Well, listen, if you ever want your team to definitely win, just bet Camille, because he loses like almost every bet. I will say this though, he is right now ahead in the NFL bet because his Commanders are 1 win ahead of our Giants and the Bears.
Yeah,
So
all
we'll
of
see
our
what
teams
happens.
kind of suck though.
Yeah, they all suck. They're terrible, and you just get rid of all your damn players, so you're really screwed. So we might have a chance to catch you, maybe.
Like LT was saying, please like and subscribe, comment down below, bet me something, and we'll see what happens. And always remember, at Surviving the Badge,
We still got your 6. Salute. Be safe out there.